to the 5th edition of Beyond the Pole on Vice Versa Media Ghana. We are broadcasting from our studios at Isa's house at Chimota, Ghana. In this month's edition, we are excited to share inspiring stories, thought-provoking discussions, and impactful achievements. Here are the headlines. As the world marked International Youth Day on 12 August, we share the achievements of a young visionary CEO who is pioneering agricultural enterprise and making impact in his community. In our upcoming feature story, we share the inspiring story of Nana Yaa, a talented individual living with autism spectrum disorder, ASD, who shattered stereotypes and overcame incredible obstacles to achieve remarkable success. In our international story, Vice Versa Global, together with our partners, were privileged enough to have the repositioning community's philanthropy for impact through a storytelling event. In our paparazzi segment, we bring to you a story on Street Convo, a show which is designed to amplify the voices of everyday people. Thank you for joining us. We have more intriguing stories and updates to share with you. Please stay tuned. I'm Abena Ewusiwaa. Welcome back. This is Beyond the Pole on Vice Versa Media Ghana. We begin with International Youth Day. In commemoration of International Youth Day on August 12, under the theme From Cliques to Progress, Youth Digital Pathway for Sustainable Development, we shine the spotlight on Michael Kwaku Boateng, a 32-year-old trailblazing CEO of TVET Farms.
Meet Michael Kwaku Boateng, the visionary CEO of TVET Farm, who is transforming the agriculture sector with a groundbreaking approach. He's not just focused on traditional farming practices, but also fixated on making agriculture appealing and accessible to the younger generation. He shares his story to self-discovery, which ultimately led him to dedicating his outfit to pioneering innovative solutions for the agriculture industry.
Okay, so it all started when I completed SHS and started doing a couple of jobs like insurance, and I realized my own passion is always after farming. So when I came to Accra and I completed SHS, in the middle of doing corporate work, I met 3 friends, and they were all telling me where they are at in life. Some said they were in the uni. The other guy said he was a mushroom farmer, and he started giving me some few ideas about mushrooms. So that was when I decided to say, okay, if I love farming in the village and now I'm in Accra and we can actually grow mushrooms, then let me try and start something on my own.
After discovering his passion for agriculture, Michael Kwaku Boateng sought to make a meaningful impact by bridging the gap in food security and employment. To achieve this, he founded a mentorship program dedicated to nurturing and empowering young individuals, equipping them with the requisite skills and knowledge necessary to thrive in the agricultural sector.
In fact, I just looked steadily at how the population were all channeling their energy towards corporate work, and I realized, I saw and gave me so much confidence that, okay, if I enter into farming, I'll not only make it, I'll also be feeding humanity.
The visionary farmer employs the use of theatrical songs, rhymes, and drama to engage primary school pupils in his mentorship programs.
Praying about them, they said, well, I should look at how kids behave and how they assimilate information. So, like for instance, if I'm talking about agric with a student as low as KG, I go like, oh, do you know that the food that you eat, the food that mommy gave you, you can grow it yourself? Say, hey, really, I can grow it myself? Then I start knowing something like, don't do copy, don't do liar. Using the day-to-day activities and how they play around, I studied it for some time. So when I send an information to a class 1 student, it becomes like a stigma, a virus. It takes over their body and they can never forget it till Jesus comes.
This, he believes, will ensure children develop a lifelong desire for farming, ensuring a brighter future for generations to come.
In our feature story, we share with you the remarkable story of Nana Yaa, a talented individual with autism spectrum disorder who has shattered stereotypes and has overcome incredible challenges to achieve success.
Despite her condition, she's determined to become one of the most inspiring humans on earth. Nana Yaa has turned her life around with the support of her family. Her mother, Madam Mrs. Mary Amuakofo, shared with us about Nana Yaa's childhood and her experience growing up with autism.
Nana Yaa was born in 2003. Pregnancy and childhood was all right. She walked at 1. She started saying a few words before 2 years. But we noticed around 3 years that the few words that she had, she stopped saying them, such as bye-bye, mama, water. So we got a bit worried, but we didn't know it was, anything medical. And so we enrolled her in school. We actually went to hospital between age 3 and 4. And then we were advised to enroll her in a mainstream kindergarten, and that, she will start talking. And so we did that before age 4. Age 5, we noticed she was still not talking. And then she was also very hyperactive. In other words, she couldn't sit at one place. But finally, at 6 years, we finally got diagnosed that she was on the autism spectrum. Yes, so we didn't know anything until she was around 3. And between 3 to 6, we were going around looking for, interventions and support for her. But we don't know why she was not talking. So finally, when she was 6 years, we got official diagnosis that she has autism.
When Nana Yaa was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, the family initially reacted with shock and denial because it was unexpected. However, they chose to take a positive stance and support Nana Yaa in developing her interests and passions.
This is not unexpected news for anyone. This is a news that, no matter how strong or how good you are, you don't embrace things like, being told your child has any form of disability. So the initial reaction was, shock and denial, of course. But sometimes also when you learn about other people who have children like that, who are doing very well, it gives you some level of hope.
Yaa has a lot of sensory issues. Some of the children on the autism spectrum have sensory issues. Here I am trying to hide the onions in the food. Now accidentally she took one, and look at what is going to happen. And imagine people with restaurants cook with onions all the time. Now observe this, because there was a cut out onion in the food and she mistakenly put that in her mouth. Now look at the reaction.
Music was a strength for her, and we used that to teach her a lot of songs that had, things that we wanted her to learn. Maybe, this is the way I brush my teeth. Songs like that with the intention of teaching her, because we noticed she loves to sing. So that were some of the things we did. Then when she was 14, even though she still had few words, we decided to get a photographer and, start doing photo shoots for her. It started like a fun kind of thing for her Facebook page. But then along the line, we used that as a form of learning to also bring her into the public domain that, it is okay, she's different, she's not talking, she's not able to do a lot of the things we expect of her. But, she's not any less than any of us. When she turned 16, we started a vocational training school for young adults like herself on the autism spectrum. And so we started teaching her some vocational training skills, such as, washing plates, eating by herself, learning how to sweep. And then through that, we noticed she was making some progress in her own terms. Somewhere about a year ago, we were approached by Kempinski that they've seen the good work that Clicks Africa Foundation is doing, and therefore they want to partner with us as part of their corporate social responsibility. So in that, they selected 3 young adults, and they were allowed to take some days, let's say 2 days or 3 days, throughout the week to work with either the laundry department, because we also noticed that these were areas that they can easily excel. This is, I think, 6 months that she started working. And so far, so good. She's doing very well in her own terms. She's being supported very well by the staff at the hotel. And she also goes in twice every week with her facilitator or caregiver.
Through self-identification and determination, Nana Yaa has made her family proud and serves as a shining example to others with similar conditions. She proves that disability is not inability.
On World Humanitarian Day, it is important to shine light on the remarkable women who exemplify compassion, bravery, and strength. One such extraordinary woman is Florence Maame Christiana Hagan, a highly respected lawyer and a dedicated member of Rotary International. Her unwavering commitment and tireless work has been instrumental in transforming the humanitarian landscape. She has not only played a crucial role in assisting in disasters, but has also been a driving force in empowering marginalized communities to rise and thrive.
For me, becoming a Rotarian meant that I now had an opportunity not only to give back, but do meaningful things in my community, as well as engage with a family of 1.4 million Rotarians worldwide. Rotary has encouraged me. You are part, like as I said, you are part of a family, and you know that as a member of a family, you have a responsibility to do good, to help others, and that is something that is crucial to our existence. The fact that I have a good place to live, right, does not mean that I must forget about the person who does not have a good environment in which to exist. The fact that I've been to school does not mean that I should leave out the young children. We should be able to help them to read, able to help them also aspire to achieve their goals and their dreams. That for me has been inspiring. And Rotary is organized, So in one organization, you have structure, right? And that helps. That helps tremendously, because it's not that everybody is doing everything and anything. Rather, what you can see growth, you can see development, and you can see the results of the efforts. And that, in my estimation, is more valuable than anything. You can do one project, you can donate to a school, but if you go to the school, you plant trees with the children, you engage with the children, you do reading clinics with them. Rotary has a program called the Rotary Youth Fellowship Awards, where we take young people and we teach them team building and leadership skills and exercises. And the youth are our future. And if you can nurture and instill in them these basic principles of service, of caring for one another, can you imagine the world that we live in?
Mawusi Awity's legacy is defined by her dedication to aligning the technical and vocational education training sector, TVET, with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDG 4 and 8, which focus on promoting exclusive and quality education and fostering sustainable economic growth.
Today marks a significant milestone in my career as I bid farewell to an institution that has been my home for many years.
The staff of the Ghana TVET service read their brief saying, Mawusi Awity was not just being a boss, but true mentor and a guiding light to their personal lives. They said her door was always open, and not only for work matters.
It's a small book which punches way above its weight. I would like to sincerely declare the book duly launched.
I've written this story for people to read and for them to know that they can make it. They can make it. Everybody can make it.
In our international story, we now cross over to our studio in Nairobi, Kenya, where my colleague Brenda is on standby to give us details.
Thank you, Abena. So we all know that in the ever-evolving landscape of information, it's undeniable how stories and narratives hold immense power to influence our perceptions and change the way we view the world. As Vice Versa Global, together with our partners, we were privileged enough to have the Repositioning Community Philanthropy for Impact through storytelling event here in Nairobi, Kenya. And this is what happened. After a delightful breakfast, the first session kicked off with welcoming remarks and context setting from our partners.
It's not only about discussing about community philanthropy, but it's also about rethinking how we tell storytelling for impact and how this actually influences our work to show the significance of our efforts. So let's engage, let's share our perspectives, let's learn from each other, and after all, when we go home, let's think about how we're going to work together to tell stories that not only inform but transform.
Wherever we live, the issues where we live, the challenges that we may face, even for those of us who live in Nairobi, we could be living in an estate where the challenges around access, the road, issues of water, issues of power. So how can we be able to use our voice, use our collective action to bring change?
Are we able to demonstrate, one, our contribution in the national development process? And one of the ways through which we can make that demonstration is through telling of stories, is by practically showing that this is what we are doing at the community level with the organizations in the grassroots, and this is our contribution. And so, the relevance of the meeting today.
We really need to have an enabling environment where communities in all the diverse groups can engage in a very manner that both the state listens to, respects, but also appreciates the efforts of the civil society, as he has just mentioned. So for us, we look forward to partner with government, with civil society to ensure there is a very enabling civic space that people can be able to speak freely, people can be able to assemble, people can be able to engage, people can be able to be even involved in the local challenges that are within the communities.
There is power in telling your stories. So let's continue to leverage the power of media to change the narratives. That's it for the international news. Back to you, Abena.
Thank you, Brenda. Up next is paparazzi segment. Nana Yaa is on standby in Studio B. Nana Yaa, please take over.
Thank you, Abena. Welcome to another exciting edition of the paparazzi segment. Just like we always do, we shed light on very interesting episodes which were featured on our flagship programs. And our first highlight for today is Street Convo. I have with me in the studio my co-host, Jude Buckman. Hi, Jude.
Hi, AJ.
How you doing?
Oh, I'm good. How about you?
I'm fine. I mean, what has been your overview of our programs this month?
For our programs this month, I think it's been great. It's been great. We've had some insightful conversations with people. They've also given really great feedback, and I think overall it's great.
Okay. What has been your highlight for Street Convo?
I guess you know what I'm going to say. My highlight for Street Convo will always be Wachi versus Gobe. Because I always say that if you want to know Ghanaians, know their food. Ghanaians do not play with their food, especially with those two. And those two, it's ironic that there's a war going on against them, knowing how similar they are.
Yeah. So for those of you who are wondering what Gobe and Wachi is basically made up of beans with palm oil or any edible oil, and we usually take that with either plantain or anything kaklo. While Wachi is made up of rice and beans, we usually take that with any protein. You could take it with eggs or chicken. What is your favorite?
Shout out to the Wachi Warriors, you understand? Sorry to go away, but unfortunately, Wachi takes the crown. Takes the crown.
So at this point, I feel like you're being biased. Let's listen to what people think about the Wachi and Gobe war.
I did this, Simon.
Between Wachi and Gobe, which of them do you like?
Oh, come on. What is Wachi? What is Wachi? Gobe Eaters Association of Ghana. I'm the president, so don't compare Wachi to Gobe. It doesn't match.
Gobe really sustains you. All you need is water. I can't even go a day without Wachi.
Okay, Gobe president always gets me. Anyway, we're moving on to another program that we came up with just a few months ago, and that is Campus Vibes. For those who do not know, Campus Vibes is a program where we speak to students, find out their perspectives, perceptions, and opinions on issues that really do affect them. And I think this month our topics have been top notch. I don't know about you, AJ. What do you think?
Yeah, I feel like we have tackled basically issues that really affects the students. For me, my highlight was when we tackled issues surrounding accommodation on campuses, because it is a pressing issue. Students are actually finding it difficult to access hostel facilities in school. This goes a long way to affect the mental health of students. Imagine commuting from home to school all the time and having to commute from somewhere as far as Kaswa to school for lectures all the time. And it's so difficult. You can imagine. It was a highlight for me.
Right. Reminds me of the time I slept on the floor in a hostel for a whole year because I couldn't get accommodation. It's sad. But I mean, do not take my word for it. I mean, I'm out of this school now. Take the words of the current going students.
The hostels are not accessible to level hundreds. When you're coming in as a fresher, you find it difficult to get hostels because most of the time it's already booked. So you have to find someone else, like someone outside campus.
Because my place is far from campus, sometimes I'm late for class, sometimes going home is a problem because I have to, getting transport to that place is far, so I have to wait or either struggle for a vehicle or something like that. Yeah.
Transportation, and then the traffic is very huge.
That is quite distressing to hear students actually battling to acquire spaces in school. Well, moving away from that, another flagship program we introduced was Fun Fact. And on Fun Fact, we shed light on a very seasoned philanthropist who is also a journalist, Nana Yaa. Jude, what is your take on Fun Fact with regards to this particular episode which featured Nana Yaa?
One word, superwoman.
She is one of the people within the journalism space I look up to. She's doing so well in terms of charitable stuff. She's doing extremely well. Unfortunately, this is where we draw the curtains on the paparazzi segment. I have been your host, Nana Yaa, and I did this with
Jude Buckman.
Up next is the VVMG Connect with Jude Buckman.
All right. I believe we've had a really wonderful segment today, and it's time for VVMG Connect. Now, VVMG Connect is where we connect with our followers, our viewers, and everyone who's affiliated to us here at Vice Versa Media Ghana. We just want to know what you are thinking in our comments. Now, I have some comments that came underneath our video, and Campus Vibes, we spoke to students on campus, find out what they're thinking, their perceptions, what they think of the issues affecting them, and we asked them about sports. Should universities prioritize sports? And this is what they had to say. Tiffany 210 says, most talents we have competing for us were discovered in SHS, so I don't see why they shouldn't prioritize it. Okay, we have Samuel saying, hey, why not? We don't have the facilities to have our own Project Mbappe. I believe you. I also want my own Project Mbappe, but our facilities down there. All right, so we are moving on to Street Convo. Now, Street Convo, as I said in the paparazzi segment, is my favorite of all time. My favorite topic that we spoke about, Gobe versus Wachi. Now, we have comments coming in from Abena saying, Gobe is food for men and ladies eat Wachi. I mean, are you saying that I'm a lady? No, I mean, I love watch. Yeah. go back. Anyway, let's go. All right, now we have Mahmoud, and he says the guy who said he was the Gobe president, who said he was the Gobe president is very funny because I am the Gobe president. I don't know if we should have a debate to settle this. But anyway, that is all we have for you here on VVMJ Connect. My name is Jude Buckman, and over to you, Abena.
Interesting comment. Thank you, Jude. And that's how we wrap up this month's edition of Beyond the Pole on Vice Versa Media Ghana, reporting from our studios at Ise's house at Chimota, Accra, Ghana. I'm Abena Ewusiwaa. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, stay informed, keep exploring. Goodbye from Vice Versa Media Ghana.